Durag Wisdom here, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Y2K 20.04.28 with just 189 days left until we get rid of this piece of garbage who wants to murder us all. Fake Senate impeachment trial, no vindication, no adjudication, and no exoneration. Repeat, please. For your information, folks. 1. Donald Trump ignored his presidential daily intelligence brief. He's done this through the full time of his presidency. The intelligence briefing daily. And this is according to a report from the Washington Post that warned us all about the oncoming virus. Trump has blood on his little hands and should be impeached again. 2. My state, New York, made a fatal mistake by throwing Bernie Sanders off the ballot. I was looking forward to voting for him. I do not look kindly upon machine politics, no matter which party it comes from. Whether Bernie is on the ballot or not, I intend to write his name in. The Democrats want to unite the party. This is the wrong way to go about doing it. Democratic socialism is coming to the Democratic Party whether the corporatists like it or not. People want a party that is not afraid to embrace progressive causes and ethics, concepts, everything. They do not want a party that is fundamentally a lighter version of conservatism. 3. This is still for your information. While Trader Trump lambasts the press and insults them, they in turn are not allowed to insult the creep back in return. They are professionals. He is not. I believe that since freedom of the press is part of our Constitution, there should be a law that no public official be allowed to insult the press as this fiend Trump is doing. It is time to bring back respect and professionalism, which once again our press practices and Trump doesn't. It is time to stop defining deviancy down. Stop defining deviancy down. It will kill us. Number 4. Sorry about the changes in my schedules. My wife is now working at home, which forces me to schedule preparing my videos at other hours. Please bear with me. 5. Election Day should be a national holiday. Why isn't it? Repeat, I'm an old man. Election Day should be a national holiday. Why isn't it? 6. Folks, with respect to Nancy Pelosi, it is just fine to despise Trump, in spite of how his group hates us in return for feeling that way. You know, they lambast us. You ever hear that? Oh, they hate Trump. They hate Trump. Trumpphobia, whatever it is. Just remember how it was okay for them to hate President Obama when he was in charge. And they expressed their hatred outwardly, proudly, vociferously too. If these Trump creeps can dish it out, they have to be able to take it too. I despise the criminal creep we have in office now. I am ashamed, embarrassed that we have this creep in our lives now. And the 55,000 people have died because of his incompetence. 7. Today is Christopher Young's birthday. And today's music in the background is excerpts from his Great score for the shipping news. And now on to our main topic. Drug addicts and alcoholics get to a point when they simply bottom out. They get to the lowest, most humiliating, most deadly level, and there, hopefully, they meet the truth of whom they are so they could rise up again. At least this would be the ideal situation, for as you know, there is always relapse and recidivism. The day that traitor, turd, birther, fiend Trump told the nation they should expose the inside of their bodies to ultraviolet light and ingest poison disinfectant products to kill the CV-19 was the day that our nation bottomed out. We can either rise from the sewer we've created for ourselves and for our children and future generations to come, or stay there and die. Remember the tragic case of Jim Jones and what happened to his followers? Innocent and clueless people went to Guyana and believed everything Jones told them. So when Jones said it was time to drink the poison Kool-Aid, sorry Kool-Aid, I grew up drinking Kool-Aid, most did it. He poisoned it. And those who did not were either murdered or were lucky enough to escape. In the 3.5 years plus that the fiend Trump has been president, we have dropped from being the so-called beacon on the hill to a clarion call for unmitigated madness. After all, in the age of Trump, it has become normal to brag about being able to grab women by their genitals, to say that there are nice Nazis on the other side, to brag that one's genitals are bigger than his hands, to separate families and lock them up in cages, to damage children for life, to murder the earth and its legacy to future generations to be able to live more harmoniously, more wisely. And I hope we learn to live more harmoniously and wisely after what we've been going through. Because we're part of this mess. The human race is part of what we're going through now. The abuse of our Mother Earth. It has become also normal to drain a swamp and build a cesspool filled with some of the worst creeps I have ever heard of and seen and can't stand. I can't wait until Turd Trump is flushed down the toilet of history, hopefully. I hope for the day that I no longer have to see or hear about the Trump family, including Jared and his douchebag wife, about Mike Pence, or about Barr, or about Pompeo. I can't wait until Mitch McConnell is gone, never to be seen or heard from again. On the day we have learned the lessons of our addiction to reality show stupidity and mundanity, we must first apologize to all we have offended for not voting in Y2K16 and allowing the Trump vid 45 virus to contaminate our country and the world. And on that same day, we will pledge to having a voting day Trumpectomy of the Trump vid 45. And just in case, once we rid ourselves of this evil Trump COVID-19 piece of garbage, we will pledge to further inoculate ourselves and our nations by distrumpecting every part and every corner of our country against the disease that has already murdered more than 55 1,000 of our people in this country. Sadly, we are going to need a new memorial to all the people of our nation who have been killed by CV-19 and who have been ignored by a president, a piece of trash, a scumbag, more concerned for his numbers and for his vanity than for the nation and the people he swore to protect and to serve. It is time for all of us now to go cold turkey, to get unaddicted to reality show crap, to rise up out of this cesspool we've been drowning in.